Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. In this video, I'll be reviewing the MiG-21bis Lazur-M, of which is a currently Tier 7 11.0 BR premium jet fighter for the German air tech tree. This vehicle currently comes in a pack that includes the MiG-21 Lazur or Lazur-M, 20 days of premium time, and 2,500 golden eagles, all for the current price of $69.99. That said, in this video, I'll be going over everything that you need to know about this premium MiG-21 variant, including its stats, how it plays, its strengths and weaknesses. I'll give some scores in several key areas, and then I'll give my final recommendation on if I feel that this vehicle is worth purchasing or not. That said, if you like this kind of video, please consider subscribing, but without further ado, let's get into it. Now to start, I'll place the stats here on the side of the screen. Important stats to note are its top speed, rate of climb, and turn time, of which is far better than what the stat card indicates. Now for how it plays. In short, the MiG-21 Lazur-M is essentially a copy-paste of the MiG-21bis and bis Sal. In real life, the Lazur-M featured enhanced avionics that would allow for ground control operators to essentially fly the plane until it reached its target. But as you might imagine, there is no such system in War Thunder, and as such, this is basically a premium MiG-21bis Sal. Because of this, it has all of the same strengths, weaknesses, and tactics that the MiG-21bis Sal features. It has a phenomenal climb rate, great top speed, fantastic acceleration, and all-aspect R60 MK missiles, as well as much more limited and longer range R3R missiles. With this said, while it might seem prudent to boom and zoom with an aircraft such as this is unfortunately not going to be possible at least most of the time, especially with much more advanced fighters such as the F-14 and MiG-29 slinging powerful BVR missiles at relatively long ranges and destroying anything that sits above around 3,000 meters. Because of this, it is largely advised to stay close to the ground and, if possible, to stay with your team as they advance, as this will make you less of a target. Once you're at the front lines, you can burst through, destroying enemies with relative ease with your all-aspect R60 MK missiles. The Lazur-M is a beast of opportunity in air battles, and as such, makes short work of enemies that are at low energy, especially at short ranges. When close to the enemy, the MiG-21 Lazur-M is among the best in War Thunder, benefiting from excellent maneuverability and excellent missiles, as well as a workable cannon. Unfortunately, the design of the MiG-21 makes it prone to bleeding energy extremely quickly whilst turning, and as such, you always need to be aware of your momentum, otherwise you will easily fall prey to enemy fighters of all types. Now for close air support, the MiG-21 Lazur-M is more or less non-existent. It can of course carry up to 2 500kg bombs, 2 napalm bombs, or up to 4 S-24 rockets, along with plenty of S-5K rockets mounted in pods. Thankfully, the Lazur-M features a ballistics computer for rockets, making it so that you can actually have a few kills with the S-24s, being that the S-5Ks are typically not good enough at this BR. On the other hand, it lacks a ballistics computer for its bombs, meaning that it's much more difficult to use them. In all, it is clear that the MiG-21, regardless of the variant, is not meant for close air support and, as such, should only be played in this role in an emergency. Much like the MiG-23ML, although much more so in the MiG-21's case. Now with this said, let's get into its strengths and weaknesses, and first for its strengths. It has fantastic speed and acceleration. Though not the best at this point in War Thunder's history, the MiG-21bis and all of its variants, including the Lazur-M, maintain excellent flight performance. For its second strength, as with essentially all MiG-21s, the Lazur-M has excellent maneuverability that is, for the most part, going to be the best in each match in which it plays. Third, it has access to 6 of the great R60 MK all-aspect air-to-air missiles. While no longer the best in War Thunder, they still maintain pretty good tracking, great maneuverability, and can lock from all aspects at around 2 kilometers. Fourth, it features ballistics computers for rockets. For its fifth strength, it has a powerful 23mm cannon that works well against air targets and can also destroy lightly armored ground targets. Beyond this, it has access to a decent load of 64 countermeasures, which should be enough when used somewhat sparingly. For its seventh strength, it is a fairly small target that will be more difficult to hit with cannons than most other planes. For its eighth strength, it has a very good roll rate. And finally, it has premium RP and SL bonuses. Now for its weaknesses, the MiG-21 Lazur-M has poor energy retention. While the Lazur-M is extremely maneuverable, its wing shape shaves off speed at an incredibly high rate. Thankfully, it features the best engine that you can have on a MiG-21, but it will still take time to gain speed back, especially when compared to American jets. This is when you are at your most vulnerable. For its second weakness, while it can be used in in a pinch, the close air support capabilities of the Lazur-M, and for that matter, all MiG-21s, will be lackluster at best due to small payload size, combined with a lack of modern ordnance. Additionally, it lacks a ballistics computer for bombs, further worsening its CAS capabilities. Third, it lacks competitive mid-range missile options. R3Rs are just not good at this BR or even near this BR, though they are usable in certain circumstances. For its fourth weakness, it consumes fuel very quickly when using afterburners. And finally, it's extremely easy to destroy once hit. MiG-21s either spontaneously combust or disassemble when they are hit by pretty much anything. With all that said, let's get into how I rate this plane for dogfighting in air RB. Believe it or not, I give it a 7.75 out of 10. The Lazur-M is essentially a MiG-21bis SAO, at least insofar as War Thunder is concerned. Because of this, the Lazur-M has fantastic flight characteristics, including great maneuverability, speed, acceleration, rate of climb, and so forth. Unfortunately, like the BIS and the BIS SAO, the Lazur-M also has poor energy retention, an engine that is somewhat slow to re-accelerate from sub 500 km/h speeds, a lack of great mid-range missiles, and has a cannon that some can love while others might hate it. In my opinion, and as a person that loves close-range dogfighting, this plane is excellent and can annihilate larger, more advanced aircraft with smart positioning and use its all-aspect R-60 missiles. Additionally, while I find the total to be sufficient, some people may want more than 64 standard-sized countermeasures, and that's totally understandable. I don't really give it points in this category, but I also don't take away points for the number of countermeasures that it has. With all of its strengths and weaknesses considered, I still feel very comfortable saying that the Lazur-M is a solid 7.75 out of 10 in the dogfighting and air RB category. Now for close air support, it is a different story. I give it a 2.5 out of 10. At this BR, you start seeing some heavy hitters in the close air support role, including the A-10, A-6E, A-7E, Su-25K, and even some F-4 Phantoms. The MiG-21 Lazur-M is clearly not in that strata, as it was never designed with close air support in mind. While it can carry simple ordnance such as 500 kg bombs, as well as S-5K and S-24 rockets, the Lazur-M simply cannot carry these in any quantity to make it devastating. If nothing else, it does at least have a ballistics computer for rockets, which means that the S-24s can still work pretty darn well, but it lacks a ballistics computer for bombs, which will ultimately still make this vehicle useless for many people in the close air support role. Ultimately, as I said before, it can be used in a pinch for close air support, but far better options exist, and if you're looking for a close air support plane in the Lazur-M, you are barking up the wrong tree. Again, try grinding for something else, like the F4F, Su-22 UM3K, or MiG-23BN instead if you want a CAS plane for Germany, or if you just want a CAS plane in general, Su-25K is a really good option. Now overall, I give this a 6.5 out of 10. As you can tell with this score, I weigh dogfighting much more heavily than I do CAS for a plane like this when considering my overall score. And while it is fantastic at dogfighting, it will begin to feel more and more outdated as more advanced planes join War Thunder. Already with the addition of the F-16A, which pretty much bests the Lazur-M in every way, as well as the MiG-29, the Lazur-M feels old, and this problem will only grow as time moves on. I love the Lazur-M or Laser-M and feel that it is still an exceptional plane at what it does, but it almost totally forgoes all attempts at ground striking and is flawed in many ways in air combat. Does this mean that you won't get 3 or 4 kill matches? No, not at all, because this is still exceptional in air RB, but it means that it may become more and more difficult to achieve those score totals than with more advanced aircraft. So with this said, my final recommendation: should you buy this plane? I personally really like it, but $70 for any single vehicle, even including its premium pack bonuses, is a lot to ask, especially being that it can really only perform in air RB competently. If you love the idea of a fast, maneuverable aircraft with good missiles and an okay cannon, this plane is for you. Personally, I would just stick to grinding the German air tech tree and getting the MiG-21bis SAO, as it is functionally the same as the Lazur-M, but that's just me. So as with essentially all other $70 vehicles in War Thunder, I'll say that this vehicle is much more worthy of purchase while on sale, or if you love MiG-21s. Otherwise, perhaps stick with the Tier 6 premium, and then again use regular tech tree planes to grind the rest of the way, as that will both make you better at War Thunder and will allow you to spade those vehicles and actually have a sense of accomplishment. But hey, what do I know? Now with all that said, please let me know what you thought of my review in the comments below, as well as what you think of the Lazur-M. Again, please consider liking and subscribing, as those both help my channel tremendously, and will hopefully help in my quest to finally improve to Gaijin that I should have a decal and discount code. Either way though, thanks again, and I'll see you all on the other side. Take care everyone.